Pavia is one of the most exciting metaverse projects building on Cardano. They simply aim to be a virtual world for NFT collectors and creators. It's a single world made up of 100,000 plots of land, and they have shown some really interesting process in the creation of their metaverse, with several interesting sneak peeks, but also with a beta version that was recently tested with people from the Discord community participating at the same time in the virtual world. In fact, the images seem great. There seems to be a lot of functionality in the game, but the real question is, what are the incentives? What will be the gamification to actually make gamers and people addicted to this game and to make them come back and to make this metaverse really successful, especially considering that there is so much competition and so many metaverses building at the same time. So if you want to know what makes Pavia different, just stick around for the rest of the video. As always, nothing in this video is financial advice, only educational content. And as stated before, Pavia is focused on building their own metaverse for NFT creators and NFT collectors. And they are progressing quickly and showing some really interesting leaks of their work. In fact, I'll show you some in this video, later down this video. But yeah, there seems to be a lot of potential. There is good graphics, a great world, a lot of functionalities, a lot you can do with your own avatar. But the real question is whether they'll have the right kind of gamification and incentives to make this metaverse fun, enticing, and to ensure that people have good reasons to come back and to be in it. In terms of Pavia, it's so important to notice they already shown some interesting metrics and some interesting achievements. In fact, there is a lot of interest in this metaverse. Pavia was able to sell 100,000 land NFTs in 3 different sales. Within Pavia, you'll be able to create your own version of yourself and play with that version in the game, or you can opt to level up your favorite NFT. And in fact, Pavia aims to be an interoperable project that interoperates with other metaverses, not only in the Cardano ecosystem but outside of it. And it also aims to bring on board several different projects, several different NFT projects for you to actually use your NFTs, which is pretty interesting. Pavia aims to be a very open-minded and inclusive metaverse. So basically, they want to develop the technology to actually allow individuals to build and bring to the metaverse whatever they want and need, and to create their own world and even trade their own creations in the marketplace. Pavia is also pretty concerned with the more ecological side, and they aim to actually create initiatives and tools to generate a positive impact in the real world with the development of this metaverse. And of course, they also have a play-to-earn dynamics where there will be a leaderboard and plenty of competitions, and you can get some rewards inside Pavia. In fact, diving deeper into these exact characteristic, there will be several opportunities for landowners, creators, and visitors to earn rewards. For example, one of the opportunities for builders. Builders can create their own designs, their own NFTs, their own 3D assets, and they can trade these creations and get the responding price, the reward from the trading these creations. There will also be rewards for playing the game itself and several activities within the game that will come with rewards. But as an addition, you will also gain rewards from creating utility for other players and driving attention and engagement to your land, okay? For example, you can create like an event that attracts several different users, and you can get rewarded by that, which in my opinion is very positive. It creates an incentive for users to take initiative and create cool things that will attract more people into this metaverse. And that's a very important dynamics for this metaverse to actually succeed. The rewards will vary, you'll get sometimes Pavia tokens, but sometimes you'll get exclusive NFTs that will provide you some kind of VIP access or some kind of special functionalities, and you'll also have power-ups. In fact, if you are a builder, I think it's very important to notice that you can apply to their creator program, where you'll be able to generate assets for the Pavia Metaverse. This is a program where basically Pavia verifies the creators to make sure that the assets generated are according to the Pavia guidelines, and to also create some accountability to know who's the person behind the assets, and if in case there's some kind of problems, they can talk to that person directly. The assets can be game objects, scenes, or even games in themselves, for example. And the benefit of becoming a creator is that you can assist in the process of developing this metaverse, but you also you can gain Pavia tokens and value and rewards from selling your creations in the metaverse. Bear in mind, however, that this program requires QIC. Right now, of course, as you can imagine, the focus is more on developing these 3D assets. So it's important to have that skill to actually make the most out of this program. But in the future, there will be other opportunities, and hopefully there will be an easier to use and to build program that Pavia generates and makes it available for everyone to be able to create these 3D assets without actually having this skill set of generating 3D assets, just like a builder where you can automatically build whatever you want. Landowners so far got some pretty interesting benefits from being early supporters of the Pavia project. In fact, they got airdropped, not all, but some under certain conditions, got airdropped Pavia tokens and Pavs. If you're interested in becoming a landowner, here are the Pavia land so far. The minimum floor price is 148. Okay, so still superior to the mint price, but the price was much higher before. But of course, there are 100,000 plots of land, so it's normal to see this decrease in price. And here in the Pavia website, you have a map where you can actually input the coordinates of the land you're about to buy and see where it is, and see if you want to buy that land or if you want some kind of different land. So that's very cool. I'll leave the relevant links in the description, so if you want to check that out, just don't forget to go to the description after you finish watching this video. But of course, then we have the Pavs. What are Pavs? Pavs are basically NFT creators that roam around Pavia, and which you'll be able to catch. They have different levels, of course, of rarity, and Pavias won't be sold at all. But as stated before, some Pavias were airdropped, and others can be caught in game. Here are some examples of some of the Pavias and the rarities, so they look really cool. And they will have special in-game utilities. There will be things you can do with them, but of course it's still everything a little bit secretive for now, and the lure is slowly showing. That's one of the marketing techniques used by Pavia, is to slowly start showing a little bit more of the story and always drop new surprises for everyone following the project. Right now within Pavia, besides being able to get your own land, seeing where it is located in the map, getting your paths, you can also create your own avatar. They have created a collaboration with Ready Player Me that made this feature available of creating your avatar, and you can define a lot of the things here, like eye color, whatever you want, really, your outfit, a mask even if you want. So really cool. I think it's something really nice, and this will be the avatar you will use to go around in the Pavia metaverse. In terms of Pavia, it's important to notice they have had a very interesting adoption within the Cardano blockchain and the Cardano community. They have over 18,000 different asset holders, landholders, and they also have more than 80,000 right now Twitter followers, and more than $21 million of volume of NFT sales in the secondary market. And we are just accounting for land sales, because if we account for Pavs, it is even over that. As I always do in analyzing any crypto project, it's time to dive deeper into the team. After all, the team will be the one responsible to make the project happen and to make it successful. Unfortunately, here in the website, it was not possible to find that much information about the team. You have here some bios and you have here the team members, but you cannot really find that much things. It's only linked to their Twitter. However, after doing some research, I was able to find the LinkedIns of some of the major figures of the Pavia project and complete some of the information that was missing, also with some of the videos they have on their YouTube channel. I think the YouTube channel is also very interesting to see. And here we have Pavia's CEO, Morgan, clearly a crypto degen. Okay, he claims to have been an early crypto investor and an entrepreneur, and he also had some experience as a police officer and seemed to fight and be an activist for clear crypto regulations in the UK, which is very important. It's cool. It seems to have a lot of crypto-related knowledge and experience. However, there is no clear information about what is actually his business experience. The only thing we know so far is what he's done with Pavia, that has been quite successful in obtaining the support and interest from the Cardano community, and quite successful in his marketing, as we've seen by the numbers previously discussed. Then we have here Matteo Coppola as the DevOps lead at Pavia.io. As you can see here by his LinkedIn, Matthew is engaged with several crypto projects at the moment, as is the CEO of Fluid Tokens, and he's also the tech lead for Pavia. Okay, he has a lot of experience building Cardano. In fact, he helped building and developing NFT.io, and has experience in other companies as a software developer. So it seems like a really good fit. As Chief Operation Officer, we have Paul Manuel. Okay, Paul is really cool. He's on a lot of the videos on YouTube, so he's the one I know more about. He's someone with a lot of experience in technology, and especially in game developing and in the creation of Web2 products. He worked for Unity and even for another company that was acquired by Unity, that is Multiplay, where he helped a lot in developing the multiplayer aspect and directing the customer success department as well. He's someone with the right skill sets for the job, and someone who seems to be the main force and the main developer behind the Pavia's Metaverse. And with Multiplay and with Unity, he helped solve one of major issues in terms of multiplayer gaming that was related with scalability. Okay, something that is also a huge problem we need to consider in the metaverse, that is, especially if adoption is large, that is how you're going to put so many different people from so many different places around the world all at the same time in the same place. And then another major figure in the Pavia ecosystem is Lee, that is the business development and strategic partnerships. But unfortunately, I was not able to actually find any more information about his previous experiences. Even watching its interview on YouTube, on Pavia's YouTube channel, to complete this analysis about Pavia, I think is really important to dive deeper into some other topics, like checking what has been Pavia's progress compared to their roadmap, diving deeper into the roadmap and what they have planned to the near future, as Pavia are always updating their roadmap and launching new milestones to be it. And also dive deeper into the Pavia token and its tokenomics. There is certainly a lot of juicy information in these topics, and they are certainly important to analyze and dive deeper so we can better evaluate the potential of this project. In addition, Pavia has the path improvement proposals. There are something very unique and interesting about Pavia and a way to allow for the community to give their feedback into the project. So naturally, that's something we should dive deeper into as well. And to avoid making this video even longer than it already is, I'll dive deeper into these topics in a future video that I'll launch very soon. So if that's something you want to watch, please just make sure you leave a like so I know you're interested, and subscribe so that the YouTube algorithm warns you whenever that video comes out. Meanwhile, reflecting on Pavia, I think it's interesting to see the quality of some of the graphics and gameplay they were able to develop. It's nice to see their progress, everything they were able to achieve, the huge amount or significant amount of adoption and support they got from the Cardano community. And it's also great to see they have some really good and experienced and valuable team members such as Paul or Matteo. However, of course, there is still some individuals that don't seem to have that much experience, or at least they don't really mention it in the positions they are doing. And also, like, the entire process of finding information about Pavia was quite complicated. There is information, there's some information out there for sure, but it's very scattered and hard to find. And for example, in the website, I think it would be cool to have more information and even some documentation on Pavia to understand, what Pavia really is, what they're trying to achieve, the vision, the goals, and how they differ from other metaverses. And as for me, I would also love to see their CEO getting doxxed. For example, it doesn't need to create a LinkedIn profile or put his information in the website if he doesn't want to, but at least, I don't know, showing up in the YouTube channel of Pavia and doing an interview, I think that would be very good to see. Overall, I do think there are a lot of positive points in Pavia and a lot of progress, but of course I need some more information, and I do think to create a fundamented opinion on this project, we need to dive deeper into those topics I mentioned before, the tokenomics, the roadmap, and the progress. So I think after the next video, I'll be able to give a better opinion. However, it's important to note that the thing about Pavia is that they are working towards a very ambitious goal. The task of creating a metaverse that can actually have success and be adopted by users is not at all easy, especially if you consider that there are a lot of competition in this area by several different companies, such as Meta, for example. Okay, one of the best companies, in my opinion, in this side is Cornucopias. They are building a AAA game, AAA metaverse on Unreal Engine 5, which is a pretty innovative and recent technology. So if you want to learn more about Cornucopias, just watch this video here in this end page, and on my side, I'll see you there.